Muchas gracias a todos. Yo quisiera comenzar comentando cómo la Universidad de Salamanca entró en contacto con las personas que están en la mesa. En un viaje que hice a las Islas Canarias, del que se habló antes, Luis habló antes de la reunión de Casa África con las universidades africanas y españolas en Las Palmas, en el que coincidí con Francisco Giner Abati como nuestro africanista principal. Yo que fui en nombre del Vicerrectorado de Relaciones Internacionales, pasamos 3 días muy interesantes conociendo a mucha gente y en concreto el último día una representante de la Universidad de Makerere en Kampala se dirigió a mí preguntándome acerca de las posibilidades que la Universidad de Salamanca tenía de ayudarles a crear un programa de español en Makerere University, en la Universidad de Kampala. Por supuesto, hemos estado viendo cómo instituciones públicas como Casa África o las diferentes embajadas pueden colaborar, contribuir, trabajar junto con los africanos de diferentes modos. Pero, por supuesto, una universidad lo que puede hacer es transferir conocimiento, es lo que debe hacer. Y, en concreto, me sentí muy feliz de poder contestar a mi compañera de Makerere University que la Universidad de Salamanca lleva mucho tiempo centrando su cooperación internacional en la enseñanza del español. Y a partir de aquella conversación contacté finalmente con EDITH MATUKUNDA, que es la directora del Departamento de Lenguas Modernas en Kampala, Makerere University, donde ella enseña francés, pero están preocupados porque tienen francés, tienen alemán, por supuesto tienen inglés, por supuesto tienen lenguas africanas, pero les gustaría poder desarrollar un programa de español. A partir de una serie de intercambios de correos electrónicos y demás, tenemos a EDITH MATUKUNDA, que ha cruzado el mundo, ha estado muchísimas horas en un avión solo para contarnos un poco cuál es la situación de su país, de su universidad y, en concreto, de su departamento. Así que simplemente le cedo la palabra a EDITH, que nos hablará de esta cuestión.
Hello, good afternoon. I know Friday afternoon is a very difficult afternoon. If you don't mind, we'll have a small song to help us to stretch our muscles. And it's a small song about cooperation in East Africa. It's very easy. Sisi tusaidiane, sisi tusaidiane, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, sisi tusaidiane, sisi tusaidiane, sisi tusaidiane, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, sisi tusaidiane. Sisi tusaidiane, sisi tusaidiane, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, sisi tusaidiane. That's a song which comes from the 1960s, the period of independence that our guest from Ghana was talking about, when the nation states was being created in Africa. And in East Africa, the bloc which came out first and which tried to have cooperation was Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. But that bloc has grown. If you look at Eastern Africa, the bloc has now grown to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, and Rwanda. And there are also indications of working with Southern Sudan, which was talked about, and the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So we will begin with some assumptions. We will begin with some assumptions, and my presentation is very short. I'm presenting to you the eastern region of Africa and cooperation, possibilities of cooperation, not only within East Africa, as we were singing, but also with other regions. And we're saying that Makerere University is in Uganda, in the capital city of Kampala. Kampala is the capital city of Uganda. It is part of East Africa. There is a perception from our side that East Africa is not a priority of cooperation with non-ex-colonial powers. For example, Spain. The colonial powers, of course, you know, those were France, those were Belgium, those were Britain or England. But with the others which were not ex-colonial powers, we have a perception that we don't have a lot of cooperation with them. And also East Africa, we begin with the assumption that East Africa is crossing a period of relative peace. After decades of upheavals, for example, in Uganda, you have heard about the Lord's Resistance Army in the north, where they are Makiza. They were Makiza for more than 20 years. In Rwanda, you have heard about the genocide. In Burundi, there were coup d'etats. In the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, even up to now, there's still turmoil. In southern Sudan, you have heard, they've just been passing through a period of referendum. So we are settling in, and we think that this could be the period of relative peace, which should be good for cooperation. We also have the assumption that there's been a series of new economic policies which are encouraging investment in the opening up in the East African community, which is covering these countries. There has been, for example, policies on region integration, like electric grid interconnectivity between Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, Congo. There has been encouragement of trans-border small traders associations, for example, in the COMESA programs. COMESA is the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa. There's been many other areas of regional cooperation, like the Nile Basin initiatives, where 10 countries of the Nile Basin, starting from Uganda all the way to Egypt, they're trying to cooperate. So we think, to finish the assumptions, that this is a good timing for regional and inter-regional cooperation initiatives within the regions and between the region and the outside. Makerere University. We can see the main building of Makerere University. We are not as old as the University of Salamanca. We only began in 1922. According to the recent Webometrics ranking, we are ranked virtually 8th in Africa, the 8th university in Africa. Apart from Makerere University, there are other 20 private universities and 5 public ones. There are other 5 public ones. Together, within Makerere University, we have about 36,000 students, and about 3,000 members of staff. Members of staff, academic, administrative, support staff, everybody. So we hold about 50% of Uganda's total population at the university, because at the national level, we have about 60,000 students. I don't know, how do we compare with the University of Salamanca? 36,000 in Makerere University. Are we big? Are we small? That is up to you, your research. All right. Our university has recently changed from running under faculties. Like you have Faculty of Languages, Faculty of Translation, Faculty of etc. We have changed, and we are now making bigger units, because when we were in faculties, we had about 3,600 students. Now, because of the liberalization policies in 1998, we have gone to 36,000 students.